was appreciated very much. It was wonderful. You know, I have some great soulmate stories, like how Kathy and I met and stuff like that. And just really quickly, because I need to be quick, but you know, my friend Kathy, many of you have heard me talk about her. She unfortunately passed away in March of 2002. But I went to a John Anderson concert, and he was our favorite musician, still is mine. And there were a lot of things that was interesting, because when I got the invitation to go to this show, because it was a special show, it was in a plain white envelope with no return address. There was nothing on it, and I was trying to throw the thing away because it was junk mail. Wouldn't come out of my hand. So I finally opened it up and realized it was a special invitation to this special show, where 100 people got to go to dinner with John after the show. And, you know, and I was going to be one of those people. Well, the show was down in Pasadena. Well, my son, who was 13 years old at the time, was going to stay with another friend, but he was going to spend the night at another friend's house. And so the night he was spending down there, I called to see how he was doing, and I got a message. I called my best friend's son and said, you know, how's he doing? And he said, oh, he's at Cupertino Medical Clinic getting stitches. He cut his arm from here to here when he was playing with his friend, this other household. And so I got on the phone with him when he was done getting his stitches, and I said, you're in pain, I'm coming home. He said, Mom, this is John, you have to go to this show. You must go to the show. I'm going to be in pain whether you're here or not. So, you know, just don't bother to come home, because I'll be fine, and then, you know, I'll see you when you get back in a couple of days. Wow. So I went to the show, and there was this, after the show, it was pouring down rain, as we've had the last few days here, and we're standing underneath this marquee, and we're waiting for them to set up the tables across the street at the restaurant. And there's this woman standing there who was wearing a t-shirt that was hand-painted, and it was from a John Anderson album cover, and it was so intricate and so beautiful and so amazing. I walked up to her and said, oh my God, where did you get that t-shirt? And she said, I painted it. And I said, oh my God, what would it take for me? How can I pay you to paint one like it for me? She said, I would never charge you because it's not my artwork. I just copied the artwork but onto this t-shirt, but it was a phenomenal t-shirt, you wouldn't believe. So we did a trade, we found out, so we started talking about things because we both had dreams about John Anderson before we knew who he was. So she's, you know, so we were talking about spirituality, love of music, all these wonderful things. And she goes, you see, I have these dreams. And I said, yeah, I know, I do too. Didn't even have to tell me what the dreams were about. And so then, 5 years later, because she moved up to San Jose. We became roommates. She's my soul sister, my spirit sister. I could think to myself, darn it, I left my water in the living room, and I'll get up to start walking. She'll be walking down the hall with the water. Were you looking for something? So she told her side of the story one day, which was she absolutely had to get to this show. She begged her father for ages to loan her the money for her to be able to go to the show because it cost $100. And he gave her the money, and then she started getting this message from her spirit guide. You must paint this t-shirt. You absolutely must. She kept saying, I paint t-shirts for a living. I have 1 million t-shirts. What do I need to paint t-shirts for? And the guide said, you must paint this t-shirt. So we're talking about this, and I said, okay, look. It was a John Anderson concert. You're wearing a John Anderson t-shirt. 100 people must have walked up to you. And she said, nope, you were the only one. Wow. So you know that Spirit brought us together. That is a soulmate story. That's a soul sister story. Yeah, that's a soul sister story. So thank you. I just added to the talk. How wonderful. But anyway, huh? What's that? I know. Our dear Ronnie. Well, Ronnie has a soulmate story about a few people, I'm sure. We need to do our collection first, and then I hope our Reverend Ronnie is going to come up and not only speak for a second, but also give us a song today, because we would be so sad if he was here and didn't sing. So can we have a couple people up to help with the baskets? Maybe Keith? Yeah, that's great. And myself, we can do it. Thank you. So in the back of your program, it says, giving to the ministry from which we receive our spiritual support and nurturing.